Alright, wah, wah, wah. That was a bit of a rip. Sorry about that, everyone. Apparently, I was in the middle of a windstorm and that knocked out my Wi Fi for a second. But I do hope we are back and that we can continue this second ever watch party. We'll just call that part two of our second ever watch party because, it's our second watch party. So why not have two for the price of one? In today's streaming, but let us
On his
continue where
sword.
we
Once
left off,
trapped in
shall
the
we?
illusion, Aizen can manipulate your five senses, including making you see people who aren't there or making Aizen appear as if he's someone else. You might think that Saitama's abilities to handle Phoenix Man's spiritual-based abilities mean he could see past Kyoka Suigetsu, but Kyoka Suigetsu works on other spiritual beings, as it manipulated all the centuries-old captains and even manipulated Yuha, who had the power to see and manipulate the future. Aizen would be able to make Saitama think he's in a supermarket during a sale or something for all eternity. The one weakness of Kyoka Suigetsu is you can cancel it out by touching Aizen's blade. However, by the Thousand-Year Blood War, Aizen's sword has fused with his body and he can make it appear and disappear at will. Saitama wouldn't even know how Kyoka Suigetsu works to be able to counter it, let alone touch his sword to begin with. There's also the matter of the Hogyoku, which allows Aizen to recover and adapt to anything that hits him. At various points of the Aizen arc, and later during the Thousand-Year Blood War, Aizen is heavily damaged by poison, or absorbed by Yuha's spirit energy, or annihilated by Ichigo's Mugetsu. Mugetsu being so powerful that even Aizen himself couldn't sense it, meaning it was transcendent over Aizen as well. But Aizen could still survive and
He brought it up. He brought it up. He brought it up. Not me, but he brought it up first. But I'm not. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say he brought it up first, not me. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We can keep moving. But I do want to point out the Hogyoku is as busted as it sounds when it comes to its adaptions. Something that Death Battle brought up in the Aizen versus Madara fight, and somehow it played absolutely no factor into the outcome or like winning. Like I don't even know where to begin or how to even. Oh, that made me so mad. I'm like, what are we talking about? Truth-seeking orbs are going to kill Mater or kill Aizen. Literally, the whole setting that's about souls can't figure out how to kill the guy who's a soul. The main character tried to freaking delete him, and we're talking about truth-seeking orbs are going to get rid of him. Oh my gosh.
regenerate back thanks to the Hogyoku. Each time he also comes back even stronger and with new abilities. Even if Aizen was hit by a punch from Saitama and it blew up half his body, or blasted a hole in him like the Deep Sea King, Aizen would be able to regenerate and get stronger until he eventually surpassed Saitama.
I know someone who's not going to be happy to hear that. Ooh, do I know someone who's not going to be happy to hear that?
Saitama, of course, can grow and adapt in response, although if the two started an endless battle of adapting to one another, Aizen would most likely come out on top as he is immortal, while Saitama doesn't have regeneration and would eventually die of old age. Unfortunately for our bald-headed friend, he doesn't have much to deal with Aizen's overwhelming power and abilities. That's without mentioning the dozens of other Kido that Aizen has access to too, allowing him to move between dimensions, trap other people in dimensions, create barriers, sealing, and so on, which would all act as something else for Saitama to overcome. Of course, there's always the idea that Saitama is a fiction soloing gag character who one-punches everything because it's funny. I've discussed this at length many times, but Saitama's gag power is limited to what he's actually done. Gag character doesn't mean above fiction, but it's just a type of comedy-based character. Arale doesn't solo fiction just because she's a gag character, and neither does Bugs Bunny, SpongeBob, or Popeye. These characters are considered overpowered because of what they do with Toon Force or gag moments, but aren't automatically unstoppable because of that. Saitama's narrative as the One Punch Man isn't even consistent as many characters such as Boros, Evil Natural Water, or Garo all survive his punches even when he's going all out. No matter how you look at it, Saitama himself said Garo was powerful enough to take his full power, and did many serious punches on him. The story allows for this to happen in defiance of the gag narrative, to allow for more serious story arcs and themes. Now, if Aizen and Saitama met in a crossover episode or something, written by one, it would probably go.
Not only that, but like, Saitama's not even the strongest gag character. I mean, his feats, I would say, probably blow Bugs Bunny physically out the water. And currently, his feats also blow Popeye physically out the water. But unlike, excuse me, that was a yawn. Sorry, y'all. Unlike Bugs Bunny, Popeye's more of a physical fighter, though. Don't get me strong, Bugs is pretty darn strong. He literally sawed the state of Florida off, the U.S. with a literal saw. Like, he's pretty strong, don't get me wrong, but he's not a physical fighter like Popeye is. And Popeye, again, kind of sort of more so beats Saitama because his hacks would affect him. And again, I know someone who would not be happy to hear that.
Something like this. Saitama would accidentally run into Aizen in fake Karakura Town as he's monologuing about how he's a superior being, probably try erasing Saitama with his spiritual pressure, and when that doesn't work, he may try using his arsenal of Kido or slashing him with his sword. Saitama would think Aizen is a ninja like Sonic that's throwing funny looking fireworks or something, and play around with Aizen and making all of his efforts seem like a joke. Aizen would probably go crazy, thinking that Ichibei shaved his beard and lost some weight, and he's fighting the leader of the Zero Squad with his secret reality-shaking Bankai or something. Aizen would resort to using Kyoka Suigetsu, which he stopped using after becoming transcendent, and go for an attack while Saitama thinks he's reaching for a coupon, and he'd accidentally grab Aizen's sword through the illusion to be funny. He'd then one-punch him before Gin shows up, realizing he wasted the last 1,000 years, knowing this bald dude could have soloed Aizen the whole time. Let's just be honest, Aizen is exactly the type of character that fits in One Punch Man. A strong bad guy who refuses to believe anyone is stronger than him, and it's funny to imagine him freaking out while a bald dude in spandex walks through his Kurohitsugi. However, at this point, Saitama is not a fiction transcendent gag character, and we have to analyze their feats more objectively. Currently, Saitama caps at a threat to multiple galaxies, while Aizen is more of a universal or above level threat.
Alright, everyone, and there we have it. We have the verdict. Aizen beats Saitama, which, again, I know someone who is not going to be very happy to hear that, but it needs to be said. It has to be put out there, okay? Because even though the 2025 is wrapping up, right? We're almost at the end. Why in the world are we still thinking that, Saitama stands a chance to Goku or even Aizen, I don't get it. And again, I think there's really only one culprit to this, and I've been mentioning them a lot. And I've been mentioning them a lot, but trust me, we're going to get into it. We're going to find them. Let's go. Okay, this is what I've really been waiting on. I want to see, are we still going? I want to double check right here. We're still going. Cool. All right. Oh, crap. Hang on, the wind's kicking up again. Hopefully it won't knock us out this time. But we're going to find them. We're going to go. We'll get into see what if Aizen fought Saitama reaction. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. We found it. It's kicking up again. Hopefully it won't knock us out this time. But we found it. We're gonna find it. We're gonna go. All right,
This
here
is
we
gonna
go.
be my
All
fourth
right.
time redoing this
Ah,
video, and each
no.
time
All right. This is what really got the Sauron eye going. Woo-wee. This is what I really wanted to get into. Oh, I couldn't wait. I was salivating at the thought. Oh yeah. Alrighty, so I don't know. I really don't have a lot of people, but I'm just gonna yap and pretend like I do. I'm just gonna talk as if I did have an audience. So, but for now, I'm just gonna scream into the void. But anyways, hello, my lovely audience and people. As you may have known, this is maybe not so much a regular, but second time here featuring on the channel. But honestly, he might have to make a comeback because this is what I've been waiting on. You know, I was just chilling, right? Because little backstory, right? I reacted to his videos before. If you know him, you know him. He's the Popeye versus Saitama guy. We kind of had a little back and forth, reacted to each other, responding, whatever. I think he blocked me, but I don't really care. But it is what it is. I was okay to let bygones be bygones. Aizen would see Saitama say some shit like Hado 9000, Uma Musumi, and one shot his bald ass. Wait, did you really just bring up? Did you just say horse sword? Wait, hang on. Don't maybe start looking this up and say that you typed in something weird. Uh, but no, that would be true though. That would be true because bleach spells are also just ridiculously long. He would just be sitting there chanting like yada 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 blah blah blah, binding the heavens and the sky with darkness and night. Hado number 9,000,000. And then he's just basically like reading off a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Phone call. One moment. We return. All right. So the tea time. He's kind of been here before. We've kind of met, crossed videos, crossed paths, crossed blades, whatever you want to say. Exchanged spiritual pressure, exchanged conquerors hockey, you know. But now, um, so we crossed conquerors hockey before, and that was that, right? We met, and I was willing to let it go. And so after that, the Sauron eye closed. I was back chilling in the force, minding my own business until I felt a disturbance. I had to find it, and ultimately, when I did, this is what it led me to. What if Aizen fought Saitama? A response by Mr. Y Give Up 11 himself. Uh. Let's see what this Joker had to say.
I try to keep it short, it ends up being 15 plus minutes long. So let's take this approach instead, because I know motherfuckers have short attention spans.
Yes, I do.
I wasn't going to touch this video, but I gave it a listen and I was like, damn, bro. People just can't stop being disingenuous. So let's pinpoint what you said. Aizen abilities will work.
Actually, you know what? I should get my notebook again like we did last time. Because I have a aching suspicion this is we're probably going to end up drawing similar notes as we did last time. 1 second, let me go get that. Alright, everyone, we have acquired our handy dandy notebook. And we have our signature red pen, blue pen, merge them together, and we get hollow pen purple. We've got all the techniques loaded, is right, and we are here to take some power scaling notes. So, I do think it is also important because, like I said, I also had some slight contentions with the argument on Professor Fiction's side. I believe he kind of smoothed them out, but even so, let us write here Professor Fiction's claims in blue. 1 second, I'll back up so we can hear him again.
People just can't stop being disingenuous. So let's pinpoint what you said. Aizen abilities will work on Saitama. That's your claim. Aizen is like universal level in power, and Saitama caps out at multi-galaxy. That's another thing you said. Saitama has gone all out against multiple villains, which is just factually not true. That's another claim you said. Let's get this shit started. Where to start from? Okay. Basically,
Alrighty, so the claims that he presents for Mr. Fiction. Aizen's abilities will work on Saitama. Aizen is uni, Saitama's multi-galaxy at best. Saitama has gone all out before. We got that? We tracking? We following? Good. So let us see what his issues are with these these takes here. I'm really curious.
before I get into it, this is basically what power scalers sound like when they're scaling Saitama. This is what y'all sound like in a nutshell, bro.
You're not allowed to have Saitama that powerful without my approval. You're not allowed to have Saitama that powerful without my approval.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, we need to look at feats objectively, blah, 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 this, and you don't have the ability to look at feats objectively. You don't pay attention to detail properly either, so it's impossible for you to look at feats objectively. But let's get into this. Professor Fiction. This ain't my first video on this guy, so this video won't be super long. The infinity flaw, why fan-made power scaling fails. The infinity flaw, why fan-made power scaling fails Saitama and strips away his true power. I break down in this video why the fan-made power scaling system does not work for a character like Saitama. Granted, That type of scaling works for the vast majority of fictional characters, but there are always going to be outliers. There is no one system that perfectly.
All right. Sorry, I'm dying. Sorry, I'm dying. Alright, let's see. That's a fun and active corner where people talk about fan-made versions in battle, often involving fictional characters from comics, animated games, etc. They are usually referring the main and more. Okay. Now this, because I know if one of my friends does happen to come along and catch the live stream or watches it afterwards, this is for him. But this is what I was talking about, where he was saying that he basically gives us some homework, basically some videos to go watch through. And this is kind of what I was talking about before, where I was saying we might have some homework for this live stream, so it might be a bit longer than what I was initially planning on having it to be, because he has other stuff that he wants us to watch apparently, and I like to do my due diligence, have all the takes available. And he clearly says in his video he's got other stuff, so we apparently got to do some learning. Heaven knows why, but because really all it takes is reading the One Punch Man manga, which I have reread.
Fits everybody. There are gonna be some outliers. It is what it is. No system is perfect. So if you want that breakdown, go ahead, give that video a watch, because I'm not finna sit here and break all of that down in this video, because I don't want this video to be super long. It needs to be short. The other video, Saitama doesn't operate off mathematical infinity. I also break down how fast his growth actually is. Spoiler alert, it's absolutely fucking broken. Let me make this simple for y'all to understand, but if y'all want the full breakdown, y'all are going to have to watch this video. When Garo got God's power and unleashed the nuclear fission, he wasn't able to do damage. But the moment he went into Saitama mode, copied Saitama's strength, and actually hit him with his own shit, all of a sudden Saitama's confirming that he's been scratched, confirming that he took damage. If y'all want the full explanation or breakdown of how fast his normal rate of growth, not his exponential rate of growth, actually is, you're going to have to watch the videos that I literally just pointed y'all to watch. But to overly simplify.
Okay, so the video he's pointing to us to watch.
So it's impossible for you to look at feats objectively. But let's get into this. Perfection Fiction, Professor Fiction. This ain't my first video on this guy. The Infinity Flaw, why fan-made power scaling fails.
Okay, so he wants us to watch The Infinity Flaw. Noting that down for later.
This true power. So there is this video, the Infinity. I also break down how fast his growth actually is. Spoiler alert, it's absolutely fucking broken. Let me make this simple for y'all to understand, but if y'all want the...
Is the breakdown for the exponential growth one, the one above it, the Saitama Infinity, isn't mathematical? Or is it this debunking Chad Squiddy?
Full breakdown, y'all are gonna have to watch this video. Y'all want the fucking broken. Let me make this simple for y'all to understand, but if y'all want the full breakdown, y'all are gonna have to watch this video.
I think he's just talking about watching the Infinity Flaw one. So if that's all, then we can more than likely squeeze that one in after this. I don't see any issue for that.
Only doing damage when he copies Saitama's strength. You want the full breakdown of that? Go watch the videos that I pointed y'all to. I'm not going to repeat it again. Let's move on. We're not scaling Saitama the fan-made way. That doesn't work. So we have to stick to what the author says. We're not scaling Saitama the fan-made. Let's move on. We're not scaling Saitama the fan-made way. That doesn't work. So we have to stick to what the author says and the level of power the work of fiction places him at. All I have to do is have him show up to punch the problem away. At the ending of Professor Fiction video, he did a little bit talking about if Aizen was in One Punch Man and how the creator would write that story, how Aizen would go to do his abilities and none of it would work. Saitama would grab the sword, blah, 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 one punch him. That comes back to this. You're putting Aizen up against a character who's literally designed to punch away the problem no matter what it is. Saitama not having a limiter is the reason why none of this shit affects him. Again, when the author is straight up telling you what his character can do, you listen. You don't just disregard that shit because you want to. That's not how that works. This is how strong Saitama actually is.
His name, Saitama, he became a hero for fun. 3 years of special training made him lose all his hair, but he gained invincible power. He achieved such strength that he can defeat any opponent, however strong, with one punch. Okay, here's another part that I feel should be highlighted. Alright, and I'm gonna write this one in purple for my color. That I'm noting down personally, because we take notes here as avid students. Shout out Clackamas. Unable to make use of his full strength, he is unsatisfied as a hero. Alright, let's keep that in mind and continue.
She said in your video, oh, multiple characters have survived punches from Saitama even when he's went all out. The only character he's gone full power on is Cosmic Garo, and that's only because of his copy ability.
That's also a fair take. I'll note that down too, and we'll count that as a what is that? A strike for Professor Fiction here against Sensei Fiction. So counter argument: Saitama has gone all out before, or well, I think as Mr. 11 said multiple times or whatever. That is incorrect. He has only gone all out against Cosmic Garo. So let us note that down. Saitama has only gone all out against Cosmic Garo. Alright, we agree.
Everybody else, he hasn't gone full power on. And on top of that, there is no actual full power with Saitama. The way his power functions, there's no full power. But this right here is literally telling you how powerful he actually is. His name was Saitama. He became a hero for fun. 3 years of special training made him lose all his hair, but he gained invincible power. He achieved such strength that he can defeat any opponent, however strong, with one punch. This is the reason why Cosmic Garo had to get introduced. Because this is the level of power Saitama is actually at from episode 1. No, he's not. What about the Serious Punch Square? Saitama went full power, and his full power only destroyed a bunch of stars and stuff like that. Wrong. Blast explains what his gates do. I must temporarily transfer you to another dimension. When he's using his shit, he's transferring you. Of course, Garo breaks out because he's Cosmic Garo. Y'all know how his power functions. The high energy levels blew away the gates. The gates can only transfer so much energy before it gets overloaded. I'm not saying the dimension on the other side is getting destroyed. I'm saying the gates are getting destroyed.
Okay, so let's note that down. He's wanting to make a big point of that. So we'll hesitantly note that down. Cosmic Garo destroys Blast's gates, which transfer things, which I'm pretty sure we kind of sort of already knew. Let's see. To deflect the destructive energy away from Earth. So I guess Earth can't be underestimated. I'm surprised at other heroes. Alright, let's keep.
This isn't the full level of destruction of the Serious Punch Square. This is a Nerf Serious Punch Square here. This scene with Empty Void is literally confirming that yes, when Blast is using his gates, there is another dimension on the other side. There is another dimension on.
See, at the time I was trying to reduce the damage to the ground, I bent Garo's cosmic rays using gravitational wave and sent them away to another dimension. Right. Okay. We know Blast can dimension hop. Like, we know that already. Like, Blast can dimension travel. Alright, cool.
On the other side. And this is how that shit looks. It got its own stars, galaxies, and they're in space. Confirming that yes, his gates connect to another dimension. So let's bring it back. The high energy levels blew away the gates. Such energy could kill the planet. I must transfer everyone before that happens. The energy is too great. The gate, I can't get enough distance.
Alright. The energy is too great. The gate, I can't get enough distance. I have to at least find a way to deflect the destructive energy away from Earth. So I guess Earth can't be underestimated. And then Blast is like, huh! With the exclamation marks, because he's reacting. Okay, now, the way he's kind of addressing these scans is a little sus to me. So I want to go back and kind of just kind of listen to how he's addressing these scans a little bit. The high energy blew away the gates. Such energy could kill the planet. Okay, so he's calling Cosmic Garo a planet buster.
For everyone before that happens. The energy is too great. The gate, I can't get enough distance. Before all of that energy of destruction can get transferred over, the gates gave out first. The gates have a limit on how much energy they can handle before they give out. Am I saying the dimension on the other side got destroyed? No. I can neither confirm nor deny because they don't show that. But what they do confirm is the gates being overloaded. So the full level of destruction of the Series Punch Square that we would have seen if it wasn't for Blast and his friends, we don't get. This is a nerf Series Punch Square that took out a bunch of galaxies and stars. So when y'all sit here and say Saitama full power only took out this much, this isn't showing his full power. So
all right, I kind of sort of see where he's coming from. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Sounds like there's something going on here with the presented scans. Hold on. See, just wait a damn minute. That scan he just used, that was redrawn. Can we get a little bit of elaboration? Because I know I've had a bit of an issue with some redrawn stuff in the past with One Punch Man. So let us be thorough here, okay? We got to make sure, we got to be accurate. Okay, so let's see. What is it? Trying to think. The one-eyed figure behind Blast. Oh, this guy here. Oh. Does that affect the overall, I guess, series of events? Now, because I do agree with him at the moment that we can't for sure say the dimension was destroyed. He is correct in that assumption. We only know that it destroys the gates. Alright, so Boros Light here, he does not exist in the redrawn, in the canonical version. Good to know. Let's note that down here. Boros Light does not exist in the redraw. And possibly this statement. Alright, good to know. Good to know, good to know. So we'll definitely need to look into that for a little. We'll definitely need to look into that later on and to confirm that. But we can agree though that the gates have a power limit on what they can transfer, but because they have a limit, then that means the energy that Saitama and Gaara was outputting was more than planet level, because Blast explicitly states Cosmic Gaara has planet killing power. But he was still pretty confident he can transfer it. Or, well, no. Was he saying that the planet killing power blew away the gate? Let me double check. No. Okay, no. It's below planet level. Damn. Come on, Blast. What are we doing? Okay, Blast gates below Cosmic Garo, which is planet level. I was kind of expecting more, but alright, let's see. So, where were we? So, anyways. And then, so the energy is going up, right? Because there's serious punch squaring. It's too great. He can't get enough distance to transfer it into a gate. So, he's going to shoot it into space, right? Now, Mr. 11 here claims
level of destruction of the Serious Punch Square that we would have seen if it wasn't for Blast and his friends, we don't get. This is a nerf Serious Punch Square.
Okay, so he says that's a nerfed Serious Punch Square because of Blast's interference. Which, I mean, not really. Was it nerfed? Was it nerfed? Ooh.
That took out a bunch of galaxies and stars. So when y'all sit here and say Saitama,
oh, did you hear that other part?
Galaxies and
galaxies. He also claimed that it took out galaxies. Claim Punch Square it took out galaxies. I don't know where he's getting galaxies from, but let's note down that Professor Fiction only notes the galaxies, multi-galaxy, as a highball. So multi-galaxy is a highball for Saitama, according to Professor Fiction.
Stars. So when y'all sit here and say Saitama full power only took out this much, this isn't showing his full power. So again, the only thing we can reliably go off of is this statement right here. Because when you're made like Saitama being this strong from the get-go, and then you include how fast the fact that he's always passively growing, obviously, why would I lose to yesterday's me? Y'all can go ahead and read this. The computer copied the strength of Saitama from yesterday, and Saitama one-shot the version of himself from yesterday. This right here was already confirming that Saitama's always growing. He doesn't need a strong opponent, which people claim that he does. I don't know why y'all making that claim when the work of fiction.
I gotta stop you right there, Mr. 11. Hang on, that's another claim you're making, and that's a rather bold one too. Okay, he believes. Let's go back.
Always growing. He doesn't need a strong opponent, which people claim.
Alright, so Saitama is always growing. growing and doesn't need a strong opponent.
Claim that he does. I don't know why y'all making that claim when the work of fiction is making it clear as day that he doesn't need a strong opponent to grow. He's always growing. Again, until now, no one had equaled him in strength or noticed his growth. Confirming yet again, Saitama has always been growing. He's put at the maximum. How strong he would have been in the final chapter, that's how strong he is in episode 1. He's put at the maximum. But
Hang on, he was going to say something else.
the fact that Saitama doesn't have a limiter, the fact that his growth literally never stops, made it to where he's literally this strong from episode 1. Combine it with the fact that his speed of passive growth is beyond broken. We're not talking about exponential. That shit's beyond broken. Oh gosh. Man,
Okay, what does even being put at the maximum mean? Because I guess my thing is like, if he was truly at the maximum, why is he needing to grow to beat Garo?
I really wish you people would listen. Y'all keep dog. The man's strength is literally the infinity symbol. I can't make this up. The man's strength is literally the infinity symbol. Y'all think y'all know y'all shit, but y'all don't. Y'all fuck up on the details. Y'all sit here and make claims that the work of fiction just straight up contradict. Y'all come up with your own headcanon and predetermined conclusions, and when the work of fiction doesn't match those predetermined conclusions, you sit here and say, well, obviously the work of fiction is wrong. This is how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to go off of the context that the work of fiction has established and what the work of fiction is giving. You don't come up with predetermined context applied to the work of fiction, and when the work of fiction doesn't match your headcanon, you sit here and claim, well, this is wrong. It's supposed to be like this, debunk. Like, what? What are we doing here? This is literally what it would look like the moment Aizen casts his hypnosis.
Okay, I get that, the scaling system isn't perfect and all that, but the whole point of the scaling system is that it was created so we would have a metric of being able to, identify and understand how strong a character's displayed feats of power is. Like, I don't get this. This is like really a bunch of backwardisms. Like, okay, first of all, like I said, like kind of like what I did in my drip video, we're trying to apply a bunch of author statements. Like, okay, for the drip video, his was like chapter titles and chapter statements. This one is like going a level deeper now. Now we're using the author statements and guidebooks, which really don't give any sort of context at all. Like, he broke his limit. We knew that. His strength is growing. Okay. So then his strength is infinite. What does that mean? The work of fiction literally doesn't define it. In fact, if anything, the work of fiction defines it as exponential growth. Like, we just read, and we come to the obvious conclusion of what the story tells us. Like, Even in the scan you show with the graph, again, it literally says with an intense surge of emotions, his power grew further. So like he can grow, it can exponentially grow. Like, okay, I guess we gotta like jot all this shit down. Actually, I think even versus battle wiki has documented, so we can actually check versus battle after this.
Is on Saitama. It wouldn't even fucking affect him. It wouldn't affect him. This video at max is going to be 15 minutes and 30 seconds because I don't want it to be that much longer than a video that I'm reacting to. But let's go over your claims. You sit here and you claim that Saitama at max is at galaxy level. That's just wrong. The level of power you're putting him at completely contradicts the level of power the work of fiction is putting him at. You claim that Saitama has went all out against multiple opponents. That's just factually not true. The only opponent he went full power on is Cosmic Garo, and that's only because of Cosmic Garo Hack's ability that allowed him to match Saitama's strength. And on top of that, Saitama was beating his ass with one hand. So is that really full power? You argued that Aizen abilities would actually work on Saitama. No, the fuck they wouldn't.
Yes, the fuck they would.
Let's be blunt here. Let's be blunt. Saitama is hands down one of the most powerful characters in fiction, and that is no exaggeration.
Let's be blunt here. Let's be blunt, okay? You're the guy that fucking said feats don't apply to Saitama. Get off your goddamn high horse and shut the fuck up, okay? You obviously have no idea what in the hell you are talking about. If you're trying to say that Saitama is out the metrics of the scaling, he can be scaled. Okay, you want to know what other characters? Orale, Bugs Bunny, Toon characters, just like Mr. Fiction says that people often try to claim are so busted in solo fiction. No, they're not. They have clear-cut feats. It's just done in comedic methods, but they can be measured. But if you want to go with the whole logic of he's invincible and all that crap, then we can run the Toon Force train logic, okay? Bobobo would beat Saitama's ass hands down, okay? The whole point of Bobobo is that it is a battle of people with hair versus people without hair. So already they're mortal enemies on sight because my man Bobobo sports a beautiful blonde afro. So, and Saitama's going to be hating from the get-go. And Bubba Bo is going to have no choice but to put his hating bald ass down because literally the antagonists of Bubba Bo are bald dudes and they're attacking people with hair and trying to shave it. So Bubba Bo would already think he's an enemy, and Saitama, being the hating ass mofo he is, would run it. So already, natural matchup. And Bubba Bo, like I said, you want to run the logic of Toon characters or Toon Force and all that jazz. Bubba's got this in the bag, hands down. Oh my god. But like this guy, I swear he kind of grinds my gears a little bit. I'm gonna take another hit of the Benjamin right quick while he talks. I need to calm down.
The way this character is made makes him literally one of the most powerful characters in fiction. Hands down. Y'all keep putting all these characters up against this Deus Ex Machina bald motherfucker. He's designed to literally punch away the problem no matter what it is. He's designed to where hacks just don't fucking work on him, and he brushes that shit off in comical fashion. His power level from episode 1, since the creator put him at the maximum.
Which again means
While at the same
nothing.
time, there is no actual maximum because he doesn't have a limiter. And he also made it to where...
Okay, so then that's contradicting shit. So then just say he doesn't have a maximum. Which, I mean, which we've come to find out later on anyways. Okay, so the whole point of he's at his maximum technically isn't even true. He doesn't have a maximum because the ceiling is always raising. So let's just dismiss that right there, okay? Let's just note that down and dismiss that whole idea, nip that in the bud now. Saitama, doesn't have a max slash never did, which I am pretty sure you've even yourself has said. You've even said yourself, Saitama doesn't have a max slash never did. So why are we doubling back on your? So why are you doubling back on yourself now and saying Saitama did and then doesn't? Just stick to one frame of narrative, okay? Saitama doesn't have a maximum. Keep it simple, stupid.
Saitama's always passively growing at a unfair fucking rate, which is why he's able to one-shot any opponent however strong, which is another reason why he couldn't simply introduce a strong opponent. He had to introduce an opponent with the hacks to be able to copy Saitama's strength. Dog. Saitama is clearing the vast majority of fiction. Saitama is clearing the vast majority in fiction.
Also, when he's talking about Garo having the hacks to keep up with him, it is also true. He quite literally needed exponential growth to beat Garo. We do need to also note that as well. Saitama did, in fact, need strong emotions, which trigger exponential growth. And also, Mr. Fiction is right. That interaction is how the fight would go if one was the author. That being, again, if one was the author, but he's not the author. This is a neutral setting. Okay, we take and analyze what the characters do. Now, do we know Saitama grew stronger past the Serious Punch Squared? Yes, we do. And we can note that down as well. Saitama is stronger than Serious Punch Squared, which is why we say he's multi-solar system or galaxy to multi-galaxy, okay? At an absolute highball, okay? So we do, in fact, understand how Saitama's powers work. Now, I guess saying he's capped at it is technically incorrect. Saitama's power isn't capped. I'm putting that in quotation marks. We can kind of say it's not capped, but that's really about it. He's growing, sure, but until the day he actually displays anything higher than multi-solar system, he's not getting anything else.
Saitama is clearing the vast majority of fiction. Shouldn't need to say this, but there is literally nobody in the Bleach verse that stands a chance against this bald motherfucker. Absolutely nobody. Y'all sitting here trying to nerf this man to strictly only demonstrated feats. You're not using the real One Punch Man anymore. You're using a nerfed Saitama who doesn't have access to his full power like he's supposed to. And you're throwing him in the ring and you're restricting his power level based on demonstrated feats only. You're sitting here trying to measure a fictional character who, by design, can't be measured that way. And you're basically going, these characters have demonstrated better feats. Therefore, they beat Saitama. That type of matchmaking works for the vast majority of fictional characters. But for an outlier like this, it don't work. It doesn't work. And it's like, no matter how many videos I make breaking this down, people just don't listen. They think they know more than the work of fiction itself. It's gotten to the point where the fans think that...
All right, hang on. So, first of all, I'm gonna need you to hop off Saitama's dick, okay? That's a whole lot of glaze you're laying on right there. Oh boy. Get bro's meat out your mouth. He will not transcend the page and fuck you, bro. And also, Saitama is not an outlier. What? Our power scaling measurement system goes all the way up to 1A and tier 0. Like, that's outerversal and even higher. What are you talking about? Outliers. There's no such thing. There's no character we have yet to be able to measure or put a tier on it. We have been able to squint our eyes and we've been able to tier basically every character under the damn sun you can think of. Saitama is not an outlier. Saitama is not unique. Saitama is not special in any sort of way. This is an ungodly amount of glaze. Oh my goodness.
More than the work of fiction itself. It's gotten to the point where the fans think their opinions hold more weight than what the work of fiction says about their own characters. That's what it's gotten to. That's what it's gotten to. At this point, I'm just ranting. Y'all can go watch the video in full, man. Have I said everything I wanted to say?
You don't decide how powerful I am. Yes, the fuck we do. You want to know why? Because I can rip off your page. I can rip you apart and tell you to sit your ass down. I, in fact, tell you what to do. But, as I said, for the sake of due diligence, we can watch the other one, the Infinity Flaw. Alright, we can watch that one too. We got plenty of time. Alright, the Infinity Flaw.
All of this information prepared for this video took me a excruciating long time. And if I were to go through all of this information normally, which honestly I don't do, but this shit got me fucking tired. So, what I'm about to do is give you a simplified version of all of this information. But for the people who do want the entirety of the breakdown, for the people who are actually good at comprehending information and they are genuinely interested in the breakdown, detail for detail, why the fan-made power scaling system completely fails Saitama and it actually works against him, and how to actually scale him, let me know in the comment section.
My bad, I think I accidentally skipped the video.
On video version breakdown, I'm gonna have to do that another day because boy, this ain't it. Look at this shit. Boy, ain't no fucking way. We're gonna start here. Where's the mic? Here we go.
That's a smart move. A dense hour-long video will lose most viewers. The best approach is to condense your powerful evidence-based argument into a high-impact, fast-paced script. Here is a simplified, segment-by-segment breakdown of your core argument, designed to be concise for a YouTube format. YouTube video script, The Simple Truth About Saitama. 1. Introduction. The flaw in the system, 0 to 045. Hook.
Okay, hang on. I'm just going to read this myself. Why do power scalers always get Saitama wrong? They spend hours calculating the energy of his punches, but they are missing the most important detail. The author told us his true power is infinite. The problem, fan-made power scaling is based on a fixed measurable numbers, like joules and Mach speed. The thesis, Saitama's entire character is a narrative paradox designed to break those fixed rules. Any number assigned to him is automatically wrong. The infinite power guarantee. Your argument is built on official, non-negotiable facts. The infinite stat and official One Punch Man chart lists Saitama's strength as infinite. It's no joke, it's a literal stat. The author's rule, the creator made him the maximum power level from the first chapter and guaranteed he can beat any opponent, however strong, with one punch. Saitama is always 1 unit higher than whatever his opponent's maximum power is. If you calculate his strength.
Block. Your argument is built on official.
I know a character exactly like that. I know a character who has an exact hacks like that, where his hacks is literally, where his hacks is to be 1 unit higher than whatever his opponent's maximum power is. I literally, I know. I know the exact scenario of hacks and what verse completely trounces this, because I know exactly what he's trying to wank it to, and I know who to go to. I know.
Non-negotiable facts. Fact 1. The math, BFINFTY. TY. Show the math, BFINFTY chart. Fact 2.
Okay, I just wanted to let it play a bit to see if he was gonna talk anymore, just to make sure I wasn't missing out on anything he said, but he's just letting it play out. Okay, so however strong, if you calculate strength as X, the story dictates he is X plus 1. Villain confirmation. Even Cosmic Guard, the creator who received Cosmic Insight, confirms his strength is infinitely strong. Why feats?
Saitama's power is always 1 unit higher. The story Cosmic Guru infinitely strong. 3.
Power scalers use his biggest punch to give him a rank. Here's why it's wrong. The crippled feat. The clash was explicitly stopped by blast to prevent energy from blowing the earth to smithereens. The energy of the blast was redirected into space. And it wasn't stopped. Like, conclusion, the calculated energy is just residual power. Power blast didn't catch is even higher. calculated number is not his max. I mean, even if we do want to accept it, like I said, we already know, according to the graph, he grew stronger than the Sirius punch squared. Saitama's strength is constantly growing past
punch, Sirius. For the
I'm dying, sorry. See, his shown to exponential growth increases immeasurably fast rate, faster than Garo can copy.
Blasted and catch. It is underperforming, massively growing. Increases Elliot. Guru, because Saitama 315 to 450.
Saitama's defense perfectly equals his offense. The only way this hurts Saitama is his own power. Power scaling fails because it tries to assign a finite number to a character whose very existence is defined as infinite and ever increasing. You can't beat infinity with a fixed number. The accurate way to scale Saitama is to say the opponent's power plus always enough. Let me know in the comments.
Predict. To assign a can't beat it. His character has a more broken power structure than
That's all there is to the video. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be strict about it. If you're a troll, you're not welcome in my comment section. If your arguments are disingenuous, you're not welcome in my comment section. If you're purposely cherry picking the information, you're not welcome in my comment section. If you're blatantly dismissing the factual information, you're not welcome in my comment section. Like I said in the beginning, if y'all want me to do a super long video breakdown going detail for detail with all the information I scrolled past, and good God, I can't help but go into detail. It's always been my style. Let me know, but that video is going to be extremely fucking long. This video is for people who are actually, I'm talking about listening to it set up. It does not work for Saitama. Saitama is one of the very, and I mean very few fictional characters out there who's officially licensed and backed legally, who cannot be scaled the fan-made versus way. It actually, in turn, puts a power restriction on the character. Like, for example, Saitama's power is already so strong that he's able to defeat any opponent, however strong, with one punch. Granted, this is why Cosmic Garo had to get introduced, because he has the ability to just straight up copy the opponent's power. But that's neither here or there. Y'all took Saitama from being able to defeat any opponent, however strong, to planet surface level. Even though it's been established by the work of fiction itself how powerful he actually is. Scaling him that way, all that does is nerfs the fuck out of him. You cannot choose a formula that relies on static power scaling. Example, this character has been shown to destroy a planet, so I cannot allow him to be on a higher level of destruction until he shows me, demonstrates to me a higher level feat of destruction, and then I'll give him that level of power. First of all, who the fuck are you? You're not the authority of these fictional characters. Scaling Saitama like that completely nerfs the fuck out.
Okay, so in conclusion, you're just a complete and total dumbass, and you just don't understand power scaling. Okay.
Out of him, and it actually takes away how powerful he actually is. I'm not gonna sit here and tolerate arguments that's sitting here downplaying I'm not going to sit here and tolerate arguments that's making up excuses on scaling Saitama this way, because it doesn't fucking work. Saitama is a character that is not made for fan-made fucking power scaling. And I will keep repeating that until it fucking clicks. Y'all are taking a character whose power fundamentally contradicts how fan-made power scaling works. There are plenty of other characters where that formula, that fan-made power scaling formula, works perfectly. I broke all of that down. I broke all of that shit down here. I broke it all down. That type of scaling works for those characters, but when it comes to rare cases like Saitama, that shit don't work, bro. Not every fictional character is made to be implemented in a fan-made versus format. That's just a cold, hard truth that y'all don't want to hear. No power scaler wants to hear that there are actually characters out there who don't fit inside their fan-made power scale.
Okay, see, that's where you're wrong, because we do understand there are characters that don't fit the metrics of our tiers. We do understand that, and as I mentioned before, we have a place for them. It's called 1A, or Tier 1, and Tier 0, and Saitama is not that. He will never be that, and he's never going to be that. And you are just fundamentally incorrect, my good sir. We understand it very well. We understand it so much that we've already predicted and made scales for them. You're just dumb.
Scaling format. But to sit here and deny such an obvious fact is beyond me. It makes no sense. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And
just for the funsies, let's look at the comments. Let's see. Let's just see what the comments are saying for a second. I feel like they are about to twist this information and get their opinions along with facts, which is never true, never the case. Plus, they are still keeping fumble the entire context, which is the most stupid shit they could ever done. Only 20 comments. Oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad there's not a whole bunch of comments. Okay, here it goes. Okay, here's the true spitter. Here we go. Here's a smart person. Thank goodness. So, according to you, Saitama can't be scaled, and he is on the same level as Toa or SCP-1312. Learn maths, dude. The word infinite itself is diabolical and situational. That's why I mentioned maths. 3 is 2 units higher than 1. But between 3 and 1, there is an infinite possible numbers. Correct? You said Saitama can't be scaled, mean that characters with infinite stats or potential can't be scaled. This depends on cosmology and the verse structure itself. A character with infinite stats can still be scaled to high uni plus because the universe size is infinite. The world, pretty sure they mean word. The world infinite itself is diabolical. If you mean Saitama is infinite, then even characters stated by authors that they are infinite neg fiction, then why tier system come out? Infinite can still be scaled with finite. In maths, there are even greater numbers than infinite, and the top is absolute infinite. I'm gonna like that because he's spitting. What exactly didn't you it's clear as day you didn't understand what was being said and shown. Otherwise, you wouldn't have comment like this. I'm giving you a chance to explain to me. Oh, okay. You use Gemini to give you information. I just want to say that the word infinite itself is diabolical and situational. Saitama being stated infinite means he's passively growing stronger and faster, and I know that too. You give Gemini's AI proof, then give a long eye information, and then the reason why I commented. Yada yada. See, and the growth is straight up doesn't mean Saitama can't be skilled. Like Hulk, Doomsday, Ashura grow stronger through rage or reincarnation. There are multiple characters with statements like they are infinite. Pretty surprising when actually spent hours. You actually spent hours just to prove Saitama can't be scaled. You are free to scale the feat. The Incredible Hulk isn't built Okay, that's true. The Hulk is built better. Like, bro, no. What? Why are you glazing? Why are you sucking his dick all of a sudden? What? What? All right, hang on. No, I retract that like. I give you a dislike. You get a dislike. I retract my like. You get a dislike now. What? No, you were absolutely spitting. This is all situational based, and this all comes down to cosmology. What is his name? Wolfgang Scriber, or what is his name? Wolfgang. But yeah, okay. So the character, okay, I was right. It is like that Scriber. But this was the character that I was talking about, where he was talking about if your character is scaled to X, then this dude's power is to be X plus 1. Okay, you want to hear some bullshit? Wolfgang's Briar, based on his desire, I do not want to be touched. When activated, Wolfgang will always be faster than his opponent. It does not matter whether the opponent increases their own speed or slows Wolfgang down. His speed will always increase to exceed that of his opponent. The only way to bypass his speed and successfully hit him with an attack in a way where speed is irrelevant, such as using the Longinus Lanzu Testament or stopping time altogether. Okay, and you might be wondering, okay, well, how busted is this? Well, there was a character who is capable of increasing their speed to infinity, and he was just faster. He was just faster. He's just like, I'm sorry, but that shit don't work. I mean, your fodder, your speed, infinite speed. Now I'm faster. Irrelevant speed. Sorry, I'm faster. Sorry, I'm just faster, bro. I'm just faster. But anyways, that's really all I wanted to watch with you guys. I just wanted to highlight this because I was thinking of basically, saying I could turn this into a video. Not sure what I'm going to turn it into. I feel like I could farm this. I could farm this and make multiple upon multiple videos out of this. And I might just do that. I don't know. I really got to decide, but I just got to think about it. But I just wanted to show my Sauron eye was awakened and I just had to bring this to light. Okay, I had to just cast the glow of my eye on this. I had to scan it and just be like, yes, stupidity is approaching Mount Doom. Me and my takes and my logic spitting abilities. I am Mount Doom. And I am also the eye. My mouth is Mount Doom, for it spits the hot fire. And my Sauron eye is the thing that sees everything. But ultimately, I would say this concludes our research and our background study, okay? So it can't be said that if I do make videos on this and if I do call out this stupidity, it cannot be said that we did not watch his videos, because we watched what videos he recommended and told us to watch. I'm not watching any more of his videos any more than I have to, because I'm not going to subject myself to further stupidity if I don't absolutely have to. Nor am I going to subject you guys to it unless I absolutely have to, and that's usually when I absolutely have to watch it. But other than that, Mr. Fiction was completely cooking. He was correct. He's literally just trying. He literally doesn't even provide any kind of counter arguments for why Aizen's hacks doesn't work, other than it doesn't work. That's bullshit. That's literally the same kind of bullshit argument people tried to get you with back in the day with Dragon Ball. It's like, oh, they're stronger and Ki protects from hacks, so get the fuck out of here. No, it's you either show feats of them resisting that hacks, just like with Drip Sauce, where you either show feats of Frieza showing him manipulating and destroying space-time, or you can shut the fuck up. It's that goddamn simple. Like, who the fuck are you with your high horse trying to come in here and tell us? We have this system. We set this, well, not we, like, I never made versus battle wiki, but like, you know, I'm talking like, whatever, I'm going with it. We set this shit up. We genuinely know what the fuck we're talking about. And you can either get with the program or you